Hopefully we have audio. Maybe. Hopefully we have audio. Maybe. All right. Let's try this. There's a slight delay. So yeah. Just got back to the hotel. Went to a different book off that I haven't been to before. I was really close to buying some manga while I was there. They had Shokugeki no Soma, volumes 1 through 36. And how much was it? It was like 3,500 yen, maybe. Someone else came up on the stream. Yeah, it was or maybe it was like only like 2,000 yen. It was something like that. It was like 2,000 or maybe even 3,000, maybe 35. I don't remember exactly, but it would have basically came out to like $20, 20 US dollars for like all 36 volumes of Food Wars. So I was really close to buying that. The only reason I didn't is because I'm still considering buying Rent a Girlfriend, most of the run of the manga, possibly all of the manga while I'm here, and I need the room in my luggage to take that back to the States with me. And I've already bought quite a few things, which I will probably show off some of the things in this stream here before it goes off. What time is it now? It is almost 5 o'clock. I was planning to possibly watch the sumo basho on stream and like drink some drinks and waste some time until later tonight, and I might go out and get some dinner somewhere. It depends on if the storm's coming. The storms are supposed to be coming in tonight, and tomorrow I'm probably going to stay in the hotel most of the time. But anyway, went out and got some crepes from this place called Sweet Paradise. I'm not sure if that's going to show up very well. I noticed whenever I walked by on the way to book off, they had a display for Konosuba season 3. Like they had a collaboration where they had a bunch of merchandise out there and some themed stuff at that crepe place. So I decided I was going to drop there and get a crepe on the way back. But yeah, that's pretty much what I did. But I just wanted to do this stream and drink some and try a bunch of random drinks that I picked up on the way back to the hotel. We got a Suntory drink. Hopefully this shows up. Super Chew High. Never had that before. It's lemon flavored Ramon. We also have a premium malt. Another Suntory. It's just a beer. So yeah, we're gonna try that out. Not sure if it's gonna be any good. I'm not a huge beer drinker, but we got it to try. This one's one I'm actually really excited for because I enjoyed the other gin drink that I got. This is a gin sour, so hopefully it's good. It's a lemon flavored as well. A lot of lemon flavored stuff. And we got just a regular Asahi style free original brew, just a regular beer. So we got that. Yeah, I guess we could start with the ones that I think might be the least desirable and then move on to the ones that I think are going to be pretty good. I'll try to drink maybe 2 or 3 of them here on stream because I've got some time before I would want to go out for dinner. And I just want to relax in the room a little bit today. My feet are very sore. Very, very sore. It's been a very busy trip so far. We've walked a lot, put a lot of miles on the body. So I'm a little excited for tomorrow being a rain day. That way I can hopefully recover some before the remainder of the week. Next week is my last week here, so I definitely want to try to make that count. Yep, that's a beer. Honestly, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as like a Guinness or a PBR or anything. It's better than those. What would I relate this to? It's better than the Asahi I've had in the States because I've bought Asahi before in the States, as well as some more of them. But yeah, it's really not that bad, and this is like a very cheap beer. So yeah. Do I have anything else in here to show off other than like some t-shirts? I guess I could show those off. Just in case anyone watches this. What's this? This is another t-shirt I bought. Uniqlo's having like collaboration with some anime and manga. We have a Detective Conan shirt here with Magic Kaito, Magic Kid. Pick that up. Let's see here. I wasn't able to get the Haikyuu shirt that I really wanted. They didn't have any in my size, but we have another Detective Conan shirt. Teitan High School with Ron on the front side. On the back side we have Jimmy and Ron, or Conan and Ron. Yeah. Really excited about that. And lastly, well, this is just another shirt like the one that I'm wearing now. This Haikyuu shirt with Hinata on it, Shoyo Hinata. I really like the saying on it. What will you become tomorrow? So I like this, so I bought two of these. That way I can wear one and hopefully put one up for when this one inevitably gets ruined. Because I skateboard and all of my clothing eventually gets holes in them because I like to slide on the ground a lot. I'm not very good at skating, especially now that I've gotten older. I don't really skate much. Oh yeah, this is a Uniqlo bag. Got a Uniqlo bag, and inside of it is something that's pretty cool that I picked up. I'm gonna fold this and take it back with me. I always keep a bag from every store that I've gone to while I've been in Japan. It's just something that I do. I always collect and keep one bag from every store that I buy something at. Even stuff like 7-Eleven, Lawson's, even stores like those, I keep bags from those stores. But I picked up the Bleach live action movie. It was a little expensive, a little more than what I honestly wanted to pay for a used live action DVD. It was 2,100 yen. I haven't actually opened it. I guess I can open it and see what it comes with, if it comes with anything. At least I think this is the movie. It better not be like the stage play, but I'm pretty sure it's the live action movie. So let's open this up and see if we have anything in it. Hopefully the audio is working and is not incredibly awful. I've never actually streamed on this laptop before, so I'm not sure. All right. Pretty sure it's the live action. Wow. So this came out in what, 2018, 2019, something like that. It has the special features, the movie. I've heard a lot of people don't like this one. I've also heard some people that like it pretty well. It seems like a mixed bag with this live action. I have not seen this one ever because I don't know any way to stream it legally. I'm not the type of person that really likes to watch anything illegally online. I used to watch anime illegally online back when I was younger, but I kind of grew out of that, and I just like to, even like, well, I guess you could say I don't really support the English anime industry because I don't even pay for the Crunchyroll account I use. I use a friend's account, but at least I'm watching it on a legal site. But anyway, Bleach has this little booklet. What is that? We got this. Hopefully I can show off these pages fairly well. Yeah, the movie, I assume it's going to cut out a lot of the content because I do know it goes all the way up through the Renji and Ichigo and Byakuya fights, which is like volume 7 of the manga. So that is like the full first season of the anime, basically condensed down to just a single movie. So that's quite a bit of content. The Byakuya looks pretty good. Renji looks a little rough, but Byakuya looks pretty good. And Ichigo looks decent. It's very difficult to pull Ichigo off in live action. It's pretty good Chad too. The Orihime is not great. Masaki, not great. Ishin, really not great. Kisuke looks pretty good though. We have those. Grand Fisher looks, at least I think that might be Grand Fisher. I don't know. May not be after all, but it looks very menacing. We're almost to the end here. Nothing interesting on that page. Final director, Takubo. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else in here that is that interesting. I don't really want to open this. I just want to leave it as is. I believe it's a bunch of mini posters of the characters from the way this looks. Yeah. Probably going to try to get around to watching this whenever I get back to the States. What is it, a DVD or a Blu-ray? It is a, well, the movie is a Blu-ray, and the special features is a DVD. So that's a little weird. But yeah, I should be able to, I believe Blu-rays work on my PS4 and PS3 because I've watched My Dress Up Darling and some of the other like Japanese anime Blu-rays that I have. Yeah, that's a little cool. Yeah, I haven't bought a whole lot this trip. I still haven't gone to a lot of shrines either. I have a couple of Goshuin that I will glue in my book whenever I get back home. I still need to go to the Your Name stairs and get that Goshuin. I'm missing that one because I went to it the other day and they didn't have the booth open yet. But yeah, I already showed these in the last live stream here. I guess I could show off some like Japanese currency for anyone that hasn't seen that. I might have a little bit of each of them right here. And you have the 10,000 yen bill, and we have a 5,000 yen bill, 20,000 yen bill, a 10 yen bill, 1,000 yen bill, and that's all the like paper currency. But I have quite a bit of change that I really need to start spending. I'll show off one of these. This is a single yen, and it's like less than a penny US dollar. This is useless because I don't know anywhere you can use these outside of like convenience stores. You cannot use the 1 yen and the 5 yen in the vending machines, and this is a 5 yen coin. So the single yen and 5 yen pieces, unless you like go to a convenience store and it comes out to like an odd number, but most of the time whenever you go to convenience stores, like if you have enough money on your IC card, I just use it that way. I just use my IC card. But we also have, so you end up with like those whenever you use like a bigger bill at like a regular store. We have a 10 yen piece, a couple of 100 yen pieces, and the last one would be, well, I'll show off a newer one and an older one because I don't like the newer ones as much. We have the 500 yen token coin, and that's the newer one, and this is what the older one looks like, and hopefully you can see the difference. But yeah, load up. let's see here. Yoto. The backs or the fronts. We have the backs. But yeah, I don't like the new one as much. It feels cheaper, plus it has the silver in it. It's not all gold looking. So yeah, I'm actually putting aside one or two of the older 500 yen coins, and I'm going to be keeping those. I'm not spending those. The newer ones I always spend, but I want to keep one of the older ones just in case I'm not able to get my hands on any of the older ones anymore if they ever get completely taken out of circulation. So I'll be taking one of those back home and putting it away. Let's crack open this other one and try it. I'll finish that off later. And try the premium malt. I don't know if that's an ambulance. Pretty sure it's an ambulance. I don't think that's the fire truck sound. I don't know if you guys can hear it on the stream or not. But yeah, I'm in Ueno, and I don't recall hearing it in any of the other places that I've stayed at. But at night, they get out, and it sounds like they race down the streets here. So that's a new experience for sure. Whenever I've stayed in Akihabara and Roppongi Hills, I've never, or maybe I've just fallen asleep and been too deep in sleep, but I've never heard them out actually like out racing. But up here in Ueno, you definitely hear them out like, it sounds like they're racing down the street at night. So not sure if it's only motorcycles or cars. It sounds like it's both of them that they use. I've noticed quite a few motorcycle shops down here, so they're pretty big into motorcycles up here in Ueno. Well, I don't think that one's nearly as good as the other one. This was a more expensive beer. It's a malt beer. Oh, it definitely has a unpleasant aftertaste. So I would not recommend this unless you like something with a strong aftertaste, like a PBR or Miller High Life or something. If you like those like nasty beers, you'd probably like this. But this is not very good at all. Not even sure if I'll finish it. Let's try something else. I don't like that very much. I might try to finish it tonight. Let's try this Super Chuhai Ramon. What time even is it in America? All right, it's 3 a.m. Memphis time. So it's very early. I would be amazed if anyone tunes into this stream. That's pretty good. I'd really love to try like a Tom Collins here. If I could find a bar that does them, maybe I would have to go to like a specialty bar, and I haven't researched bars much. But most of the bars that I see, like walking around, it doesn't seem like they do a wide array of mixed drinks. Maybe like some old fashioned, and of course, what are they called? Highballs. They're pretty big into highballs here. But mostly a lot of beers, your standard beers and stuff. And maybe I could find like a specialty place that would maybe do a Tom Collins, maybe some old fashioned, because I'm a bourbon drinker. That's my favorite type of liquor, is definitely bourbon, particularly old fashioned. Second up would possibly be gin. I really like a Tom Collins, so I would love to try one of those if I could find one of those here and get like a good Japanese gin and do a Tom Collins with that. Now, what would I relate this to? It's not. I don't know. It's just like a sparkling, like lemon flavored alcoholic beverage. It's not like a Truly or anything. Or what's that brand that I used to buy? I don't remember. It's been a while. Yeah, I would say it's almost similar to a hard seltzer, but it's really, It's better than a hard seltzer, that's for sure. Whereas a hard seltzer, it just has like a hint of a flavor. This actually has quite a bit of a lemon flavor. So, and for the price, it's not bad. What was the prices on these things? I have the receipts somewhere. Do they have an itemized receipt? What was this one? The Suntory. I guess this was 118 yen, so that's actually really cheap. That's like less than $1. The most expensive one was, I think this Sapporo, yeah, oh god, actually the nastiest one was the most expensive one. That's not surprising, honestly. I noticed that with alcohol, especially with like beers. Yeah, this was the most expensive one, the nastiest one that I've tried so far. It was 265 yen, and it's definitely by far the worst one. The regular what is it? Regular Asahi beer was 190, so it was the second most expensive. But yeah, the cheapest one has been the best so far. That's pretty cool. I was gonna save this one for my bath tonight, that way I could drink it in the bath, but excuse me. We'll try it now, since it's a gin sour. And it was 168 yen. 7%. So this is the one with like the most alcohol, possibly. What's this one? It should say on it somewhere. It's just a regular beer. It's probably like 5% or something. Oh, it says it was Osake regular beer. 5.5. So yeah, this gin is going to be the most alcoholic content. Trash. I've had Japanese whiskeys. I'm not a big fan. I've had 3 different ones. One was like a $70 whiskey. I don't remember the names of them. I believe I threw the bottles away. I threw away all my old bottles. But I've had 3 of them. All of the ones that I've had are around the $100 mark or more for Japanese whiskeys, and I haven't liked any of them. It's not a good flavor for me. It's not a very flavorful whiskey. I definitely prefer Kentucky bourbons. That's definitely my favorite. But yeah, particularly like Blanton's bourbon. That's my favorite bourbon, probably. Though Buffalo Trace is really good too, and Woodford is very good as well. Those are cheaper ones, but as far as the more expensive ones, Bullet is pretty good. Blanton's, of course, is good too. I didn't turn on the AC in here. Do you carry a bag with you all the time? Yes. I always carry a backpack with me or a satchel or something. One of the reasons I do that is obviously for garbage, as you mentioned, because garbage bins can be hard to come by at times, and there are times where you will end up carrying your garbage around for hours before you can find one, because not all the vending machines have garbage bins by them. But I carry a backpack around for my passport, for my change purse that I always carry around. Of course, a battery bank. You don't want to go anywhere without a battery bank and a charger, just in case your phone dies or something and you need to find your way back to the hotel. And I also use it to carry around my GoPro for filming, tripod, Goshuincho, Wi-Fi router, Goshuincho. But yeah, I always carry a bag around with me with a bunch of stuff. And also, Um, uh, they actually charge for like bags now here in Japan. Ever since the pandemic, like post-pandemic, it's only like usually like 5 yen, but you have to pay for plastic bags now here in Japan. So a lot of the times I don't get bags, and I'll just put my drinks and snacks in my backpack and carry it around that way. So yeah, you always carry a bag here. Um, Most people do anyway. Most Japanese people do as well. Um, but they carry smaller bags. You can always tell a foreigner is a foreigner because they'll always carry around a giant oversized backpack or more than one bag. So it's really obvious to spot foreigners. It's always a game to see, like, if you can tell if someone lives here, if they're like a tourist as a foreigner or they actually live here. Um, because tourists and people outside of the country, they basically always wear sunglasses and shorts. And Japanese people, they don't really wear shorts or sunglasses, so that's a pretty good giveaway. Other than the standard stuff like tattoos and stuff, most Japanese people don't have tattoos, thankfully. Gin sour, not bad, not bad at all. I'll try a little bit more. So far, I still think this one's probably the best one, and it's was the cheapest one. I didn't actually buy anything in Kawaguchiko. I went up there yesterday out by Mount Fuji. It was close to the Fuji-Q Highlands. I'd like to get back up and go to Fuji-Q Highland. Um, didn't have time because the person that I went with, um, we couldn't reserve. The earliest bus we could get was, when was it? It was like 12:50 or something was the earliest bus that we could get. So we went up there and spent like 4 hours, and then had to come back because the bus ride back was at 6 p.m. and it's a 2 hour bus ride. So it was like 8 o'clock whenever we got back to Tokyo, and probably like it was past 9 o'clock by the time I got to the hotel. Not really sure what else I want to do on the trip yet. I didn't I didn't plan this trip out very well. There was a few things that I wanted to do. I've basically done all of it, but I just enjoy being in Tokyo. Like I love to wake up and just go out and plan the day and wing it. Uh, yeah, might actually go back down to Yokohama one of the days next week. Hopefully after like the storms clear. Hopefully it only rains one more day that I'm here. I guess I could check that because I have a date Wednesday and Thursday, so I would love for those days to be clear. All right, it looks like it might rain Thursday. There's a 24% chance, but definitely raining tonight and definitely raining tomorrow. So yeah, that's just, it's gonna be cloudy the rest of the time I'm here, so that's a little sad. Wish I would have shot more B-roll footage like yesterday and the day before. Hopefully it'll be clear Thursday because I have a date in Kawaki. Is that what it is? And Wednesday, I have a date in Shinjuku or Shibuya. I've never actually been all the way up there. Yeah, Kashiwa. That's the place that it is. That's where she lives. I'm gonna go up there and she's gonna show me around Kashiwa. So looking forward to that. I've never actually been up there. It looks like a really small place, kind of on the outskirts of Tokyo. Uh, no. They say there's an aging population, but I would still say most of the people are still middle aged and young. I've seen a lot of Japanese people like kids and pushing around strollers, so I don't think the Asian population is nearly as bad as they say it is. They've been saying it's bad for years, as well as Korea. But the United States also has like a negative birth rate as well. So eventually, if America stays on its projection, we're going to become just as bad as like Japan is. But I think it's really illogical that they think that the populations can indefinitely grow to take care of the older generation, because that's the way the systems are set up right now in countries. Um, and I don't think that's sustainable, because eventually, if every country in the world just keeps gaining population, eventually we would overpopulate the planet. But we're like, what is it, like 12 billion people is like the projected cap of what we can sustain on the planet. And we're like 4 billion now, or like 8 billion now or something. So we're pretty far off. But yeah, I don't think it's nearly that bad. I see, like, there's quite a few old people for sure, but not nearly as many as you would expect. There's a lot of younger people here. And the older people are just really active too. Um, Whenever I first landed back out here, I forgot how fast like Japanese people walk. Like, I'm pretty tall. I'm like 6'1", and I have a pretty fast natural walking pace. And I was walking to the hotel whenever I got here, and there was this, I swear she was like 50 or 60-year old, like really short old Japanese woman, and she was basically keeping up with my pace in front of me. I was slowly catching up to her, but for the most part, she was walking fast. Japanese people, unless they're like talking or hanging out with like each other or a group of people, they walk very fast. So that was surprising because I forgot about that. As far as finding figures here, that might be difficult. The easiest route you would have would be to just buy them online, probably, um, using like AmiAmi or Mandarake or something. Otherwise, you're gonna spend a lot of time trying to go to the stores and may or may not find them. There's quite a few figures that I've been on the lookout for, and I haven't found any of them yet. A lot of like Naruto gals figures that I missed out on. I'd like to buy up some of those, but there's a few of them that are for sale online on Mandarake's website, so I might just get those whenever I get back to the States. Plus, unless you're going to ship them back, or I wouldn't recommend buying, especially like bigger figures. If you can like pop up parade figures or prize figures, that would probably be fine. But if you're getting like scale figures and bigger figures, yeah, I don't know if I would buy those while you was here, unless you go to the post office and ship them back yourself to yourself. Because trying to get through like customs and fit them in your luggage, they might get destroyed on the way. So, unless you have like a bunch of extra bags, or buy some extra bags to take them back with you. I'm actually really disappointed. I was actually really going to buy like some sumo tickets to go and see sumo, because it actually started today. It actually just started streaming 30 minutes ago online, Tokyo time anyway. Um, the May Basho is happening like right down the road from me. It's like less than a mile away. I don't know, it might be a full mile away. It's around a mile away is where the Ryogoko, whatever it is, where they have the sumo tournament, like the sumo museum and stuff. It's like really close to where I am. But unfortunately, like all the sumo tickets are booked out. I tried to price them online and buy some, but it said they were sold out all the way up through the September Basho. So if I want to try to get some sumo tickets, apparently I'm going to have to buy them way in advance instead of just showing up and trying to go. So that's a little disappointing. Really wanted to go to that. I'd love to go to a sumo event live, and I was trying to get like a guided tour. That way we could get like a booth and maybe go out for dinner afterwards and do it in like a group. You get some other stuff too if you do it that way, like pamphlet and someone to explain everything that's going on. Like, I know a decent amount about sumo, but it'd be really cool to have someone there to actually explain everything and talk about it with. Yeah. And it's honestly not that expensive. It was going to be like 100 and something, I think, for like some decent seats. So it's really not that bad. As far as shopping here in Japan, um, yeah, it would be like anime is very expensive here. Even like used anime is pretty expensive, unless you get some like really older stuff. Like I found some Rent a Girlfriend Blu-rays that I was thinking about getting, but they was pretty expensive, and I didn't want to spend that much. But manga here is like incredibly cheap. Of course, you can get some more expensive ones, like 300 or 400 yen, um, for some of them. But you can always go to like the 100 yen sections, or the best way if you want to start manga collecting here is to go to like Book Off or Mandarake and get like the sets. They'll have sets of like the full series, or they'll have like volumes 1 through 10, 11 through 20, and stuff like that. Yeah, extra luggage would be fine. I just don't like doing check luggage. Whenever I come here, I take a carry-on and a personal item, and I actually brought very little clothes with me this time to Japan. So I've actually been buying clothes while I've been here. That way I can take back with me, um, because I didn't want to bring a lot of stuff here. Yeah, I brought like 2 pairs of pants, some shirts, of course, underwear and socks. I'm probably going to go and buy some more underwear and socks, but I've been buying clothes while I've been here. Extra luggage is definitely an option, but I just hate having to do checked luggage, especially whenever you have like layovers. If you have like more than one layover, it's very annoying, because sometimes you have to go and get your luggage out and then check it back in. I hate doing that. Yeah, the old lady story was a little similar to the exam where there's walking down the hallway. Um, because it's like in Shinjuku Station, for some of the exits, um, there's like very, very long walkways. So it's kind of like that. And everyone, especially like in the busy part of the day, they'll be out racing down the walkways and stuff to try to get to whichever exit you can get to. I really don't like Shinjuku Station. I've gotten lost in there multiple times. It's a very confusing station. Very confusing. I don't like it very much. Because the bus terminal's on one side, then you have the trains on the other side. And it's multiple stories up and down into the subway and trains. It's a little bit of a hassle. Shinjuku Station is. It's not one of the easier ones. Might actually be worse than Tokyo Station. I haven't been through Tokyo Station a whole lot. Unless you're like stopping to go to the Imperial Palace or something, there's not really any reason to go to Tokyo Station. So I haven't been there a whole lot, unless you go to the Pokemon Center there. But there's other Pokemon centers that are better, like Ikibukuro's Pokemon Center is pretty big at Sunshine City. I do want to try to go up to. Let me try to look up the name of the place. It's up past Narume. How far is it out? It's like an hour train ride. No. I watched some abroad in Japan videos years ago, probably like a very long time ago. I want to say 2012, 2013, maybe a bit later. It was right whenever he first started getting popular, and I watched some of them, and I didn't like the videos at all. I didn't like the direction and the way his videos are set up. It's so clickbaity and forced in a way for me. So I only watched a few of his videos like years ago. I don't know if he's still active or if he still makes videos or not either. So yeah, I seen some of them years ago, but they're not for me. I don't actually watch anyone that like makes like abroad videos for like Japan, because a lot of the time they're really cringe. Outside of like there's some Japanese YouTubers that I watch. Let me see if I can bring up the name for it. It's like Akane something. Maybe Akane Nihongo Kyoshitsu. Is that the name of it? Yeah. Hmm. This is a channel that I watch. She's actually pretty popular. Maybe it'll show up. But I watch her videos. Hopefully it shows up kinda. But I use those for mostly listening practice. She also does vocab videos and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I watch Japanese YouTubers mainly. I don't watch any like foreigners that make Japanese abroad videos or videos about being here, because a lot of those are in English, and whenever I watch Japanese videos or videos about Japan, I want them to be like about Japan. There's another channel, isn't it like Made in Japan or something? In Japan, maybe? Okay, that is not it. What is the name of that channel? Oh no, they don't upload really anymore. Um, but like the members from Bandmate, if you've ever heard of the like the female rock band Bandmate, um, their earlier videos had them in it. I can go through my subscription list slowly and try to come across it, but I don't remember the name of the channel off the top of my head. Wait, maybe it's in my playlist that I have saved. Mochi in Japan. Oh, Japan in Motion is the name of the channel. I watch their videos sometimes for listening practice. I don't like to watch anything with like English subtitles, or if it has English subtitles, I like to be able to turn them off. Yeah, he seems like the type that would be a sellout to do a book about his Japanese experience. Uh, yeah, there's some like I don't remember. There's this like Italian couple. I believe they was Italian. It was definitely a European couple that has like an insanely big like manga collection. It's from years ago. It's probably from like 2010, maybe 11, somewhere around that time, from like 2010, 2011. And they uploaded like a manga collection video, and they had like the life size Neon Genesis Evangelion, one of those statues in their manga room, and they had, I want to say it was like over 10,000 manga. It was one of the biggest manga collections on YouTube for sure at the time. I've only seen a couple that are comparable to that size, There's a few Japanese YouTubers that have really big manga collections around that size. There's a few Japanese YouTubers that have collections around my size as well, like the 4,000, 5,000 manga mark. Uh, yeah. Whenever you say records, I'm not sure if you're talking about vinyl or not. But yeah, they have some vinyl, but they're mostly into CDs over here. Japanese people are still really big into physical media, especially like, all right, vinyls. Yeah, they have some vinyls over here. They're not super big. You don't see them too often in all the stores, but they do have some anime vinyls. Mostly CDs, though. They have large selections of CDs that you can get, and live action like CDs and DVDs and like stuff like that. I haven't looked at them that closely because I don't listen to anime soundtracks really that much. I listen to some Japanese bands. I would actually like to, could try to do that tonight or maybe tomorrow if it's not too bad of a storm. I like to go out and find Sakai no Awari and some other Japanese bands and see if I can find some of their CDs to have because I'd like to get more into their music. Uh, but it's very strange because some of the stores they don't have like a standard way of organizing how like manga and anime are on the shelves. Sometimes they have it broken down by publisher and then like alphabetical by the hiragana sound chart, and then other times it's like by the author, by the publisher. There's no set way that they really do things. You'll go into some stores looking for manga and it sometimes it'll be structured by like the author's last name, and sometimes it'll be structured by the publisher and then the author's last name. So you can spend quite a bit of time in the stores trying to find certain things that you're looking for. Uh, like I was in Mandarake today. I actually found a lot of H manga that I was looking for, and it took me a while to find them because I had to figure out if it was structured by like the author's first name or last name, by the publisher. But I actually found like a bag of H manga. I don't think I can really show them off because I would have to censor them, but I found some that I was looking for. That's just OBS. But yeah, if you're planning to come over here, if you've never been over here before, this is my fourth trip, and I really like it over here, but it's very different than it was pre-pandemic. I really wish everyone could have came to Japan and experienced it pre-pandemic because it's very different here now. It's hard to explain all the ways that it's different, but it's definitely different in Japan now post-pandemic in a lot of ways. And other than just a lot of the stores that used to be around are gone. Some of the really low landmark locations are not around anymore. I've never actually tried to film in Mandarake. A lot of the stores don't want you filming in them anyway. Um, so I try not to film like in the stores. I've taken pictures in some of the stores sometime on my smartphone, but I definitely don't take out like the GoPro to film in the stores. You'd have to be more specific on which anime. If you're talking about the one in Akihabara, uh, I haven't been to it this time, but I've been to it on previous trips. I haven't really spent a lot of time in Akihabara this time. I went down there this morning, and I went to Mandarake and walked around a bit, and yeah, that's pretty much all I did today. But yeah, I've been to quite a few of the Animate stores, but Animate, they sell new items and like pop-up stuff newer stuff. So I usually try to go to like the used stores like Mandarake and Book Off. Those are the stores that I like more. I've never actually been to the Ghibli Museum. You have to like try to get your tickets. They go on sale every month and they almost sell out instantly, so it's really hard to get tickets to go to the Ghibli Museum. So, unfortunately, I've never been to that. I might would try to go to the Nintendo amusement park, but I'm not too big into amusement parks, honestly. Like, I've never been to any of the Disney parks in America or here in Japan. It just doesn't interest me that much. But Nintendo would be pretty cool to go and see that. Uh, Pre-pandemic, I went to the One Piece amusement park at Tokyo Tower. It was really cool. It's not around anymore, unfortunately. Yeah, well, 2000, 2004. I would have been very young at that time. Unfortunately, I didn't come to Japan until I was 26 back in 2018. But I hopefully will be moving here in the next 3 years. Have to finish college first because you have to have a college degree in order to get a job here. So I'm working on that now. The reason I'm here in Japan right now is because I'm in between semesters. So yeah, I'm making the most of the little bit of break I have between spring and summer semesters. Yeah, I've known some people that was actually military and stationed here. We have a family friend that was stationed here in the 70s. And of course, Japan was very, very different back in the 1970s. But yeah, he was stationed here, military back then. So, but he hasn't been back since he was deployed here way back then. Well, for mangakas or mangaka, um, I don't know how you would get their autograph, honestly, unless you know what they look like. Most mangaka are very reclusive, so a lot of the times you don't even know what they look like unless it's a very popular mangaka. You could pass by mangaka like in bookstores or walking down the street and not even know. So yeah, I don't have any autographs from mangaka, but I have met quite a few like popular mangaka. Because back in 2018 and 2019, I went to the Summer Comic Kit, so I met what's his name, uh, Ray Hiroi, the creator of Black Lagoon. He was selling a dojinshi at that Comic Kit, so I went to that. I also met the artist of High School of the Dead and Tri H X. I bought some manga. I bought some dojinshi from him back then, and of course, there's a bunch of famous like H mangaka that I've met. Some of them I know. Some of them I meet up with and go out in Akihabara and stuff. Uh, so yeah, I have some like dojinshi friends that are like Japanese and draw like hentai and stuff that I meet up with sometimes. Black tea. Yeah, Shiro is he's really popular. I don't know what he looks like. I believe he was at one of the comic I went to, but the really popular artists like Shiro and what's his name, but Chayu, they basically sell out almost instantly. So you have to stand in line, and I don't like to stand in lines. So it's really hard to get works from like people like them. I was able to get something from Vital Pulse, the guy that does Victim Girls, a couple years. 2019, I think. So I got a doujinshi from him. I also got I have a lot of doujinshi. It's like I have two shelves about this big full of doujinshi, and I've bought them from lots of artists, and I know lots of artists personally, um, that I've met up with and stuff. Yeah, you will never get an Urasawa or Togashi autograph, unfortunately. Um, I believe Urasawa has he's gone to some conventions before where you might have could have got an autograph, but I don't think Togashi's ever went anywhere. He mostly just stays at home. I think he plays Dragon Quest all the time. I do actually have an autograph from Takeshi Obata though, the the artist of Death Note, Bakuman, Platinum End, and some other ones that he's done as well. But I do have an autograph from him. You can buy some autographs while you're here. You can get like autographed pictures and stuff in some of the stores. Mandarake and stuff sell some of them, I believe. So you can get some of those sometimes. There's also some really interesting stuff. They have I believe they have the issue of Jump that My Hero Academia appears in. They have it for sale currently at the Mandarake in Akihabara right now. They have it for sale there. Last time I was here last year, they had the first issue of Jump that Naruto appeared in. It was pretty expensive. I considered buying it. I like Naruto pretty well, but if they had the one for Bleach, I might would buy that. But they might actually have that one at Nagano Broadway. That's one of the better shopping spots you can find, like going to the Mandarake at Nakano Broadway. They have some of the best selection of stuff for like manga and old Jump issues and stuff like that. I'd like to get my hands on some more of the Fairy Tail OVAs. I haven't been to Nakano Broadway since I've been back this time. Probably going to go there next week. I'd like to get some the Fairy Tail OVAs if they have any. That's where I found some of them last time. And possibly some of the Tolebru OVAs if I can find any of those. What time is it getting to be? Almost 6 o'clock. I do actually need to go out for some dinner. I don't know what I want to get yet. I had udon yesterday, so I might go with ramen today or something. Oh, I don't think I have anything cool. I haven't seen any special events for Dragon Ball, unfortunately. I've seen some like Dragon Ball merch, obviously, but as far as events, I don't think there's anything going on. If anyone knows if anything's going on, I'd like to go to that. Um, there was the Bleach event that I went to, the Locust of Brave down in Yokohama. I went to that and bought some merchandise from that. So I knew that was going on. So I went to that, and while I was in Ikebukuro, I noticed there was a Detective Conan event going on at Sunshine City, and I went to that, and I bought some stuff from that. Oh yeah, I can show off what's in the bag. I showed it off in the last stream, but yeah, they had a bunch of really cool stuff. I picked up t-shirt, Bambi Bastardine Figu pen, an Orihime bracelet, and I'm actually gonna open this in the video I make because I took a bunch of like video and pictures at the like Bleach event down in Yokohama. But there's a Bleach poster that comes with one of those posters in it, so I'm gonna open that in that video. Hopefully it's a good one and not anything bad. But yeah, there's quite a few anime events going on. I went to the Bleach event, went to the Detective Conan event because the new movie is out. I'm trying to set up and go with a friend here and possibly go and watch the Conan movie, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be in fully Japanese with no English subtitles, so that'll make it a little difficult for me. Conan isn't exactly the easiest anime to watch unless you're fluent in Japanese, and I'm not fluent in Japanese. I can watch like slice of life anime and understand maybe 50% or more of it usually. But as far as like Conan, they'll use a lot of terms that I don't know, so I still enjoy going and watching the movie in theater. So I might go and watch it even if my friend can't go, but we'll see. We'll see. I tried to take a photo. They had Mushoku Tensei. They had that showing, like they had a commercial or something showing for it. I've honestly never had a problem with pop-up parade figures. I have quite a few of them. I have a lot of the fairy tale ones and the high Q ones. Like it's a good mid-range figure if you want something in between like prize figures and scale figures. But yeah, I like my pop-up parade figures pretty well. The quality, of course, it's not comparable to like your prize like scale figures or anything, but pop-up parade is decent for the price range. I don't know how expensive they are where you live, but yeah, when I buy them, it's like around the $50 range, give or take some, 50 US dollar. But yeah, I like mine so far, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of prize figures. I buy some of them, but I like some of the Mega House like Gals figures and stuff. That's the ones that I like pretty well. But they're very expensive for the size. They're like always 200 or more dollars, like US dollars. They're very expensive for the size. Or maybe figures are just a lot more now, but I have surprise figures that was like less than that that are the same size or bigger. Would like to buy some more figures, but since I'm planning to move to Japan in like 3 years, I'm probably going to slow down on collecting quite a bit. I don't know what I'm going to do with my collection yet. I've been trying to figure out what I really want to do. I've never really shown my full collection like on video. I would like to do a video where I actually show off everything, but it's like multiple rooms and multiple closets for my collection. I've shown off like manga collection and stuff and maybe like anime, but there's a lot of figures that I have, a lot of video games, a lot of consoles, a lot of miscellaneous merch, a lot of shirts, cosplays, and there's a lot of stuff to my collection that I don't know what I'm gonna do with because I'm gonna spend a year here in Japan. I'm gonna get a job for like a year, do a year contract once I get my degree, and I'm gonna if I like it after a year, I'd like to do a full year here, and if I still want to move here permanently, I'm just gonna try to do the 5 years that you have to stay here in order to become a resident and become a resident here. Work on bringing my cats over and like the rest of my belongings, but there's no way I'd be able to bring my collection over here. I would have to leave that back in the States. It's because the apartments here are way too small, and if I gotta, depending on where my job is, I don't know if I'd be able to buy a house because the houses that you can get would be too far outside of Tokyo to be able to commute comfortably. Yeah, if you like dynamic poses, for me, I don't like the Figuarts figures, the ones that you can pose. I don't like those too much. I don't have any of those. I like my figures to just be in a set pose. But yeah, some of the like Gals figures, the Mega House ones, they come in some dynamic poses now, but they're really expensive. There's a Sakura one, a Tintin one that I have. There's some other ones that are coming out. They're like $300+, but they're pretty cool. I usually just buy like figures of like characters that I like. I don't care too much for the pose. And if it's dynamic or just them standing there, I just buy because I like the figure of the series a lot. But if you like dynamic stuff, yeah, I could see why you would like the more expensive ones, like the statue type ones that are very expensive. There is one that I've been eyeballing quite a bit. I haven't pulled the trigger on it, but there's like a 1/1 scale Natsu bust from like the waist up that's like life size, and it's $1,500 right now, and they have them in stock. I've been considering buying that. I haven't fully decided if I want to buy it yet because I like Fairy Tail quite a bit, and that would be really cool. I've wanted a 1/1 scale figure for a long time, and they're really hard to get your hands on, so I would like to get one even if it's just a bust. But again, if I'm not living here, like if I'm not going to be living in the States the rest of my life, there's not much of a reason for me to buy it because it would just be staying in the States, and I would only visit back home to visit family maybe once or twice a year. But yeah, citizenship, yeah, it's very difficult. Even to just get a job here for me. If you're from like Europe, like the UK or something, they have or what do they call them? Forget exactly the name, but you can do like a year here in Japan. You can come here on like a work vacation visa or something is what it is, and you can come here for a year and work and then have to go back to your country. But for me being from America, I can either stay here like 90 days on a tourist visa, or I have to get a bachelor's degree to get a work visa in order to get a contract to work here through like JET or something. But yeah, you have to work here for like 5 years in order to become like a resident here. It's very difficult to get a citizenship. Or you can get married, whichever comes first. I would probably work on getting married once I started working here and decided that I wanted to live here. It would be faster to do it that way. Yeah, for Fairy Tail, yeah, if they ever released all the Urza suits, that would be really cool. They've released quite a few of them in the pop-up parade figures. Um, I have two or three of them, I think. But I don't see them ever releasing them all. They've also been releasing the Lucy star dress uniforms, like her star dress suits. I also have like two or three of those. It'd be cool if they filmed, like released all of those. I'd like to get my hands on all those. But I got all the ones that I really wanted, like the Taurus star suit. I have that one. I have the Urza ones I want too. But if they release more, I'd definitely be interested in buying them. There are some more figures coming out. I missed out on some of them that I wanted. There was a couple of it wasn't prize figures, it wasn't scale figures, it was forget what brand it was that put them out, but there was a couple of Tsunade figures that I wanted that they sold out before I ended up buying them. Figures are expensive, and for me, I buy quite a bit of manga, so. And of course, these Japan trips, this is my second Japan trip in 6 months. And every Japan trip I spend around $4,000 or more on the plane, the hotel, attractions, cost of living, and stuff while I'm here. So I'm out that. I just bought another car right before the trip. I spent $700 buying a parts car to restore my Honda CRX. Um, Plus all the stuff that I bought in between the last two trips. I'm down probably like $10,000 to $12,000 in the last 6 months on excess spending. So that's one of the reasons I haven't been collecting too much. But for me, I wanted to do these Japan trips, so that takes priority for me, like buying the Japan trips, being able to come here. It is 6:06. I need to go out for dinner soon. Let's see if anyone wants to meet up tonight. Maybe go out for drinks or dinner or something. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, I was really excited to go to the Bleach event. I didn't know if I'd be able to make it to it, because I didn't know if you needed to buy tickets to go to it. Some of the events you have to buy tickets to go to, but the Bleach event down in Yokohama, you could just walk into it. You didn't have to stand in line or buy tickets or anything. When I went to the Rent a Girlfriend event last November, you actually had to pay to go into that, and luckily I was able to just show up and go in. It wasn't too busy. I also noticed I'm probably going to miss it. I doubt I would be able to afford it in time. But there's like a Soul Eater 20th anniversary event that's going on later this year in Tokyo. I would like to go to that, but I would have to save up like $4,000 or more by August. And I don't know if I can do that. It wouldn't be responsible for me to do that. Because I do need to start saving for hopefully whenever I move here. I need to start saving for that. But it would be cool to go to the Soul Eater event. I like Soul Eater pretty well. Though honestly, I think Fire Force is probably a better series. Like maybe we could get a Soul Eater like anime reboot one day where it goes through like all 25, 26 volumes of the manga. And that would be really cool if we ever got one of those one day. I'd really like that. I've also seen rumors of like Katekyo Hitman Reborn. I've seen that it might get an anime reboot sometime. Don't know how true it is, but that would be cool as well. Though personally, I would love to see a Yu Yu Hakusho reboot and possibly have like Togashi write. I wouldn't want him to draw it because it would take him too long to draw it, but if he would like write out his story form, like the final arc, the Three Kings arc, all the way up through the tournament and the ending. That way we get a proper ending for Yu Yu Hakusho. And then they can go back and reanimate the earlier seasons and just give us a proper ending to Yu Yu Hakusho. I would really love if they did that, though I doubt that's going to happen, unfortunately. We still haven't even got Studio Pierrot to release like the Naruto episodes from like a year or two ago. So that was really cool. I don't even know if I would have a house here. It depends on where my job is. I'm going to try to get a teaching job here in Tokyo. And if that's the case, it's going to be an apartment. And the apartments here in Tokyo, at least the cheaper ones, are very small. Like, I cannot stress how small the apartments are here. Um, I've been to some girls' apartments here in Shinjuku in some of the areas, and it's very small. And it's like 90,000 yen a month is what they pay for the apartments here, which is honestly a bit more expensive. That's not even the cheapest apartments you can get. You can get cheaper apartments than that, as around like $700 US dollars, around that range, depending on the exchange rate at the time. And yeah, it's tiny. So I can't even imagine the cheaper ones. If you were to get like a $400 to $600 a month apartment here in Tokyo, how small that would be, because the 90,000 yen apartments that I've been in are very, very small. I don't even know if we would have to see Yusuke finally graduate and marry Keiko or not. I would just love if the final tournament um, got like adapted and shown fully, because we didn't get that. Like the Three Kings arc, that final tournament, which whenever you think about it, like Yu Yu Hakusho is basically just tournaments outside of like Chapter Black. The rest of the series is almost mostly tournaments. But I would have really enjoyed if it got a proper like final tournament and then I don't even need a time skip to show Yusuke get married or anything. Just have a proper like ending, because it feels like Yu Yu Hakusho just ended. Which a lot of manga feel that way, honestly. As one of the reason I kind of got burned out on manga around, when was it? 2014, 2015 is where I went through a phase where I was just like done with manga. I basically stopped reading everything online because everything that I like ended, and it didn't have good endings. Nanotokaru, Bleach, Shijo Saki no Deshi Kenichi, Madaka Box. There was a few more, like a bunch of manga that I was reading like weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, all ended within like a year or two span, and all of them had like bad and rushed endings. So I like got burned out and just ruined for manga for like a long time. It took me years to start reading manga again to any degree. And even now I don't read anything weekly anymore. I don't read One Piece or anything anymore. So I don't guess I'm fully recovered from uh, being burned out on like all the manga that I really liked and enjoyed reading just having bad endings. But it's not a new thing. Yu Yu Hakusho had a bad ending. Dragon Ball Z had, or Dragon Ball had a bad rushed ending that wasn't a true ending. Though we did get Super eventually, but that was 20, like 20 years later, whenever we got that. So yeah, it's honestly very rare for a manga to have like a good ending. I'm struggling to think of any that really ended where it wasn't rushed, where it didn't end within like a couple chapters. Like even like some of the newer ones like Marshall and stuff really didn't have a good ending. Though Marshall was never going to be like a super long like shonen manga or anime, but honestly, I don't think we're going to see. I think the big three was like Bleach, Naruto, One Piece. I think that's the last we're gonna see of like the super long running shonen that was all popular at one time. I don't think we're gonna see anything last to like the 50 to 70 volume range. I think a lot of the manga are gonna start ending around the 30 to 50 volume range. Yeah, the Kenichi ending was really bad. We didn't even get to see him or Miyu as like old people. We just got to see like their kid. Yeah, yeah. Katekyo was pretty bad too. I guess Sketden was pretty good, but like your comedy manga, they're usually it's really hard to mess those up because it's so episodical that it kind of just ends. Monster, I don't like how open ended Monster was. How the final page of Monster is just like an empty bed, so it's kind of very open ended. But Urasawa has really good manga. I haven't read all of Master Keaton yet, but I did really enjoy a lot of what I read. But Monster had a pretty, I'd say it had a really solid ending up until like the final moment where you don't know if he died or if he's still alive, if he went back out to be evil or not. Rohan, what was his name? Was his name Rohan? I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've read Monster. But the ending, it wasn't too rushed. It was nice, nice paced. Though the middle part of Monster may have been a bit longer than it should have been. But it was definitely a very good manga. It was better than 20th Century Boys, that's for sure. Because whenever he put 20th Century Boys on hiatus and then he eventually came back to it, um, the spark wasn't there as much, I don't think. I need to read his new series, like, I forget what his new series is, I haven't read it. Asadora, or whatever its name is. I've seen it in the stores here while I've been, but I don't think I'd be able to read it because it's not, I don't think it has furigana, and I'm pretty bad at kanji still. Yeah, Monster is a pretty solid choice. I like Billy Bat a lot too. I never finished all of Billy Bat, but from what I read of it, it was actually really good. Uh, Pluto was really, really good too. Though the ending, I would say, was a little bit rushed on Pluto, but it was still a really solid choice. It's a nice, compact, like 8 volume series. Really good. Um, I seen that it has an anime, but I think it's only on Netflix, and I don't have Netflix, so I haven't seen the Pluto like anime. Most of what I watch and read these days is rom coms and stuff. Rent a Girlfriend, Kanojo Mo Kanojo, Megami no Cafe Terrace, stuff like that is along the lines of what I watch and read most of the time. It's really hard to mess those up, and they usually have at least passable endings. Some of them have pretty bad endings, but they at least have passable endings or good endings. It's always disappointing whenever the main character doesn't end up with the girl that you want him to end up with. I really hope in Megami no Cafe Terrace he ends up with Akane because she's best girl, obviously. So I hope he ends up with her at the end of that. And Rent a Girlfriend, a lot of people hate on it, especially in the West. It's really popular here in Japan, but for some reason in the West people hate it. But I really love the anime. I haven't read all the manga, but I would love to buy the manga and try to read on some of it. It's probably went on longer than it should have, obviously, and it doesn't seem like he's close to ending it yet. Um, but you can also say that there's also some other like long-running rom-com series that have should have ended years ago but didn't. So it's not that out of place. But what have I been watching? Well, this season I'm actually watching. This season I'm watching Mushoku Tensei. Obviously, it's probably my favorite isekai. And there's also Windbreaker. I've been really enjoying that. It's been really good so far. I've thought about picking up some of the manga while I've been here. I don't know how many volumes are out, but I would actually like to pick up some of that while I'm here if I have some luggage space for it. Um, Mysterious Disappearances. That's another one that I'm watching this season. Um, I'm a little behind on all of these because I'm not watching them while I've been here in Japan. So I'm at least like an episode or two behind. But those are the ones that I've been enjoying this season. And there is some more from last season that I still need to catch up on. The Hokkaido Girls anime. I was watching that. I need to finish watching that. Was enjoying it. Um, what is it? The Wedding Rings of something or another was another one that I was watching that I might try to finish, but it, I don't know if I'll finish it. It might be worth finishing. I finished Marshall season 2. I don't know if it has its season 3 announced yet. Marshall is one of those. It's. I don't know if it's good or just average, honestly. The subtitles are definitely pretty bad, honestly. Because I watch it in subtitles and I'm able to listen to it in Japanese. And whenever I translate it to Japanese in my head, um, there are parts where like the subtitles definitely don't make sense and it shouldn't have been translated that way. But it's also like that for a lot of like anime, which I'll be really glad whenever I'm fully fluent in Japanese and able to watch anime just in Japanese, preferably with the Japanese subtitles. But unfortunately, Crunchyroll doesn't have Japanese subtitles. That would be great if they did. Yeah, it's kind of like Harry Potter and One Punch Man, but Marshall to me, it feels like some. It feels like aesthetically and the pacing, and as far as it being like a gag shonen series, it feels like an early 2000s like anime series to me is what it feels like your Zatch Bell, your Mare, like older series like that. It feels like a callback to that, but I do not like the soundtrack to Marshall at all. How it has like the English rap. It just feels so out of place for the series. It doesn't mesh well for me at all. The pacing is really slow for like a modern anime, which is fine in a way. I like slow paced anime, but it's a little slow at times. Like they linger way too much. You can tell that they're trying to drag it out to where the seasons end at certain points. It's not as concise and compact as it could be. Um, but yeah, One Punch Man season three. I'm looking forward to that. Season one, very good, classic. Season two, I still like season two, honestly. A lot of people hate on it because of the studio change, but I still liked it because it's One Punch Man. It's like the story is still there. The story is still good. I'm pretty far behind. I'm on like volume 28 or 29 of the manga. So I'm like a year or so behind on the manga, honestly. One that I really want to catch up on is Demon Slayer. A new season for that might have actually started today. When does that start? It starts soon, like the new season of Demon Slayer. I've seen season one. I watched the movie in theater three times, Mugen Train, and I watched like the season previews where it shows like the first episode or two in theater for like the last two seasons or something. And I watched both of those where they had events. Um, but that's all I've seen. I haven't even seen season two or season three or anything like that. I definitely want to catch up on Demon Slayer and finish watching that. It's a manga that I tried to read, but I didn't make it too far reading it because the manga looks pretty bad, honestly. Uh, Overlord, one of my friends, I went to an anime convention recently with him, and we talked about Overlord quite a bit. I'm on season two, but I'm still at the beginning of season two. He convinced me to finally start watching Overlord. I'm not huge into isekai series, but season one I like pretty well. Season two, I'm not liking that much, but I'm still in like the lizard people area of season two, so I'm not very far into season two. But once it gets back to like the main cast, I'll probably like Overlord quite a bit more. There's like four seasons of it and like a movie coming out. But Doctor Stone, I love Doctor Stone. Um, I've been meaning to buy the manga entirely. I have the Shonen Jump issue with the final chapter where it has like the color pages and all of the final chapter. I don't like the ending to the manga too well, but I think with Doctor Stone, it's about the journey, not the destination too much. Whenever we finally got to see Y Man, and it was very short. Like Doctor Stone was very rushed. Once they got to space and you see Y Man, it's like, and Y Man is like an alien, and he kind of just disappears. There's not really any big event that happens. It's kind of just like a discussion, and it goes away. But for me, Doctor Stone season one, amazing. Season two, pretty good. Um, I didn't like how it got so rushed at times, but season three, like the Stone Wars or whatever it is, I really enjoyed season three, and I'm so excited that we got a season four. I was worried that it might end at season three, but season four, I'm very excited for. Definitely going to be watching that whenever it comes out. But yeah, I love Doctor Stone. Doesn't he have like a new series now, or is he still doing like the One Piece? Um, he does like chapters and like one-offs, like recapping for like the One Piece magazine. He did like a story of Ace, and he also did the Nami and Khalifa fight. He redrew that. But doesn't he have like a new manga out, or maybe it was canceled already? I'm not sure. I want to say I saw that Boichi had a new manga that was out or coming out. I'd like to check it out because his art is good in Doctor Stone, but it's better in Sunken Rock. His art was really good back then. Um, what's that series? Uh, Honestly, I don't think we're even going to get a Dark Continent arc in the manga before Togashi dies. Um, I'm very sad. I really wish we didn't have this. Um, what's the current arc called? What are we calling that? Like the successor arc or whatever, where we're trying to figure out who's the prince or princess, who's going to be the successor to the king of the kingdom. They're on the well and like fighting and stuff. It's really cool that we're hopefully going to get some of what with like the black spiders. We're finally going to get some payoff for that. But I don't even know if we're ever even going to make it to the Dark Continent before Togashi either dies or just gives up on drawing it. So, yeah. Because how do you end Hunter x Hunter? He introduced this like giant world as a giant planet. Like the entire story so far has been on just like a few islands that are in this like lake on this giant planet, and outside of this lake on the Dark Continent, like all surrounding it, is just impossibly strong creatures and stuff. So how do you even end Hunter x Hunter once he makes it to the Dark Continent? Is everyone going to die as soon as we get there? Is there anyone strong enough that we could see living? Are we finally going to see like Gon's ancestor on the island in the Dark Continent? Like I love Hunter x Hunter, but I just don't see it ending. As far as the manga, I don't see the manga ending with like a fulfilling ending. The manga really should have ended at like volume 32, whenever Gon got to meet his dad on top of the like tree. That's probably where Hunter x Hunter should have ended, because I don't know. Does Kurapika die though? I don't know. I don't know if Kurapika would die because he's so overpowered. He might he might die against Crollo, but he might take out Crollo in the process. Like Crollo is going to be like the final spider that he kills, which is going to be sad because I like Machi a lot and I don't want her to die, but obviously she's going to die. Um, all of the spiders are probably going to die, but yeah. I don't know if I don't know how he brings Gon back into the story, and it'd be interesting though because we're in the Kurapika arc. He kind of already finished Gon's story and Killua's story, so Leorio, like all of them are kind of written out of the stories. So once Kurapika's arc is over, like if he dies at the end or not, which he probably will die, that might be the end of Hunter x Hunter. He would like finish off like the four main characters, like their full arcs. Because Leorio, like he's a doctor now. I don't know what Kurapika is really doing. I forget what he's doing. But Gon went back to be with like his aunt or something. I'm a little behind on Hunter x Hunter, unfortunately. For me, it's like I wait for like the full batch to come out before I read any. And I haven't read this last batch that came out in like 2018. So I'm a little behind on it. It's so exposition heavy now, Hunter x Hunter is. So yeah. I don't read manga as much as I used to, honestly. I wish I had more time to read it, but the older I get, the less time I have. But that's life. Uh, yeah, Gon's healed, but did he get his nin back? I don't remember if he got his nin back or anything. Because didn't he like give up his nin? I don't see him for. I don't see him fighting Nobunaga. I see Nobunaga probably dying because how does Gon get onto the well? Because I think Kurapika's probably going to kill off the spiders before they get off the well. The last I saw of Hunter x Hunter was like the spiders are branching out and they're hunting for Kurapika or something right now. But yeah, I don't see how he brings Gon back into the story and it'd be interesting, honestly. Feels like Gon's story kind of ended. Like, what motivation or reason does he have to continue or go out on another adventure. He went out, he met his dad, he became a hunter and all of that. Though what's that character? No, what's the character that was introduced? It wasn't shown in the manga, I don't, well, not in the anime anyway, but it's like a killer that was like Gon and Killua passed him by in the manga. It was like a single chapter where it was like a character that was introduced that was going to be super strong, and it hinted at him meeting Gon in the future and them fighting or something. And he got reborn as an ant, and he's like super strong. But he went out on his own. He wasn't controlled by Meruem or anything. I forget what his name was, but it was a character that was introduced and hinted at that Gon might fight in the future that was like super strong. So maybe he could fight him at some point. But yeah. I don't know what they do with Hisoka either. I don't see him rematching Crollo. Honestly, maybe he teams up with Kurapika to fight the spiders. But yeah, obviously, I'm pretty sure Hisoka's probably going to kill Machi. Might kill off some of the others. I'm not sure, honestly. I haven't thought about Hunter x Hunter in a long time. I haven't read it in a very long time. As far as like modern shonen, I was reading some Sakamoto Days. It'd be cool if it got an anime. I guess the last kind of shonen stuff that I've seen is the Spy Family movie. I watched it in theater. It was all right. I'm not a huge Spy Family fan, but it's okay. It's okay. I haven't read a lot of the manga, but the anime's all right. Oh. Well, I think I'm gonna end the stream here shortly. I need to use the restroom, and it's like 6:33, so I need to decide what I'm gonna have for dinner and see if anyone wants to meet up tonight. Oh, though I'm not sure what time the storms are supposed to come in, so I don't know if I'll spend much time out. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream, and I might try to stream tomorrow or something because I'm gonna be in the hotel room most of the day, probably editing, depending on how bad the storm is. So I will see you guys later.